A name you don't hear too often, and a Sith lady not many know. Darth Talon is probably one of the sexiest Sith ladies who ever existed, and a dark side user you'll never forget. Talon was born on Korriban as a Lethan Twi'lek, a rare species of Twi'lek with red skin and yellow eyes. Throughout her life, she was both apprentice and master, swearing allegiance to both the One Sith and the Sith Empire. Her masters were Darth Ruin and Darth Krayt, while her apprentice was none other than Cade Skywalker. As you well know, Korriban is an ancient Sith burial world where the Sith always feel drawn to, and that's where the One Sith had their Sith Academy, where Talon trained under Darth Ruin. It was clear throughout her training that Talon's abilities better served the role of assassination, and as such, she was transformed into a Sith assassin, fully bound by the tenets of the One Sith. The founder of the Order, Darth Krayt, was her idol and inspiration, and her loyalty towards him was unshakable. He was after all the Dark Lord of the Sith. When Talon was completing her training with her Twi'lek master Darth Ruin, Krayt gave her an order to kill her former master. Talon did so without a thought, as she was loyal and but an instrument of the Dark Lord, and therefore her new master Krayt elevated her to the rank of Han. As a curiosity, let me tell you about the Sith tattoos you see throughout her body. They are the work of years of assassinations, as Darth Talon makes a new tattoo for each target she kills. When Talon was beginning her career as a Darth, she dueled the Imperial Knight Elki Vetter, amputating Vetter's leg and arm, proceeding to torture her sadistically before killing her and pursuing her true target of that mission, Princess Marasiah Fel. Marasiah Fel was saved by Cade Skywalker, who extracted her on his starship, and that's when things began to get interesting. Darth Talon wasn't going to let a target slip away though, and she kept on pursuing. When she found the target, she exploded any chance the princess had to escape to avoid that outcome and used her dark powers to convert a herd of Vans to her side. The herd attacked Fel and her companions. Meanwhile, her two Jedi guards, Wolf Sazin and Shadow Vao engaged her, and Darth Talon dueled them impressively. After an amazing duel, she force-pushed Vao and was free to focus on Sazin. You should note that Sazin was a Jedi Master with a lot of fighting experience, including a duel with Darth Nil, the other hand to Darth Krayt, and the companion in rank to Talon. It was upon recognizing the Jedi Master that Talon unleashed her full power, channeling a volley of Force lightning. The princess, being nearby and recognizing Elki Vetter's killer, attacked Talon with all her rage, right when Cade Skywalker launched a pile of debris towards her and launching her away. Talon fell a safe distance away but survived the ordeal. She waited for Krayt to send reinforcements, but on the light side of the Force, some were arriving as well. In comes a duo of Imperial Knights, Antares Draco and Ganner Kree. They were there on their own accord, disrespecting orders and trying to save the princess. Darth Nil arrived to help his fellow Han, and both him and Talon charged fearlessly towards the light side group. Shadow Voa was already on his feet, but he had an enraged Darth Talon at his throat. And, there it was, among the confusion, Cade Skywalker slipped away with the princess again. With her mission failed, she went back to her master waiting to be executed. Darth Krayt, for her amazement, spared her life when he heard Skywalker was to blame for the rescue. He then gave Darth Talon a new mission, to capture Skywalker, who Krayt thought was the last heir to Darth Vader's blood and legacy. But here's the kicker. Skywalker went right to the belly of the beast, infiltrating the Temple of the Sith. He rescued the Jedi prisoner he wanted to rescue, who was Jedi Knight Hosk Traylis, but as they were escaping, Darth Talon blocked their way, incapacitating Traylis with her Force powers, but being unable to do the same to Cade Skywalker. They dueled, but the duel was so intense Skywalker fell to the dark side of the Force. With his newfound powers, he furiously overpowered Talon, but Darth Nil was observing the whole thing and force-choked Skywalker when he was distracted, saving his fellow Han. Now a prisoner, he was tortured to fully submit to the Sith. Darth Maladi tried her best to bring him under the yoke of the Sith, but was unsuccessful, and so Krayt ordered Talon to adopt Skywalker as an apprentice and try to tame him, converting him fully. Even though Talon didn't trust Cade Skywalker, she trusted Krayt's judgment and started to train him. By now, and from all the images you've been seeing, you know Darth Talon is just too attractive, and she had the cunning of an assassin, so it's no wonder Skywalker eventually slept with her, making it one of the only times a Skywalker did it with an alien, so there's that. Unfortunately, Cade never fell completely to the dark side and eventually turned to the light again. He fought for the Jedi once again, and Talon was back up pursuing him, but could never capture or beat him again. She lived the rest of her active Sith life protecting Darth Krayt until he was murdered. Darth Nil then took over and ordered Talon to go into hiding, which she did. And that's her story. So, what did you think of Talon? I'd like you to comment below and interact with me as I reply to every comment I get. I'll link the info on every character I mention on my videos down in the description, and if the link isn't there yet, it's because the video isn't published. So, check the description regularly if you want the scoop on any character I mentioned in this video. Thank you for being a part of the Academy. If you want to support the Academy, simply like and subscribe, that's all we need. See you next time.